Welcome back to my channel, my bellas. I'm so happy that you came back for another video. Please subscribe, like, and share this video on all platforms. So anyway, so as you can tell by the title, this is about my college journey, which was very interesting to say the least. But first of all, I'm going to start this video off by saying that I have a GED. I don't have a high school diploma. I dropped out at the age of 17, and my reasoning for that at the time was, my thinking at the time was, I felt like I could go out and get a job and provide, for myself and help out at home. But I quickly realized that, you need an education, and I started taking that more seriously, and I made some corrections, and I dropped out at the age of 17, and I went and got my GED at the age of 18 or 19. I think I was 19. I actually went and got my GED. And then, so at the age of, I had dreams of going into the military. I really wanted to go to the military, and you had to have your GED and everything. So I got that. And then I just kind of started working even more, and, the military kind of went to the back of my mind again. So then I was at church one day. I was really wanting to go into the military, and it was like some things that was preventing me at the time from going. So I was at church, and I went to prayer one morning with my mom. One Saturday morning, we went to prayer, and I remember this lady, she was like, "I know you don't want to hear this, but I just got to tell you what God said." And I'm like, what did he say? Because at this time I'm really frustrated with him. I'm like, this is what I really want to do, and it's just not working. So the lady was like, "God told me to tell you to go back to school." And I was like, yeah, okay, school. I'm not going back to school. So my mom, we're in the car on the way, leaving from that prayer that morning, and she said to me, "Well, what do you want to do if you go to school?" So I was like, "I want to be a teacher. If I go to school, I just be a teacher." So she was like, "Okay, well, the closest places for you to go if you want to do that is you can go to Newberry College, or you can go to Columbia College, or you can go to Benedict." And I was like, "I'm not going to Newberry." My brother had actually he was at Newberry at that time. And I was like, "I'm not going to Newberry." So then I was like, "I'm definitely not going to Columbia College, because I don't want to go to all-girls school." I don't have no issue with Columbia College. I think that's a great school, but I just did not personally want to go to an all-girls school. So we ended up looking at Benedict, and I ended up enrolling in Benedict fall semester of 2011. I went to Benedict. And I met some of the most amazing people who are still my friends today. I love them dearly. Some of them are married. They have children now, and we still see each other from time to time when time permits or whatever. And I love them immensely. So, anywho, I go to Benedict, and I stayed there for 5 semesters. I ended up staying for 5 semesters, so 2 years and a semester. And then I wanted to pursue going into the military again. So I did. The military accepted me. And then 3 months later, I ended up finding out that I could not go into the military. This is in 2013. So everything was lined up. I had my date to leave. I had my basic training was already, my name and spot was paid for. I was going. Then I get this letter in the mail that tells me that I cannot go. I'm like, oh my God, I was crushed. So okay, fast forward 2013. So then in 2014, I heard the Lord tell me, "It's plain as day to go back to school." And I was like, "Go back to school? I don't want to go back to school. I'm worried about school. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to get, I'm going to do this military thing." Because what the military released me for, discharged me for, I could actually come back in a year. So I was like, okay, I'll just work and wait out my year or whatever. But that was not the plans for me from the Lord. So he told me to go back to school. And I was like, go back to school. And I was like, okay. I was like, but I'm not going back to Benedict. I'm not going back. Nothing against Benedict. I had a wonderful time while I was there, but I just did not want to go back to Benedict. And I just knew that wasn't where I was being called to go. Okay. So then my mom was like, again, she says, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, I want to be a teacher. So then she says, well, you got Newberry or you got Winthrop. And I was like, I ain't going to Newberry. And she just looked at me. And it's so funny because she has this look when God has already told her something and she already knows what it's going to be, but she just lets me find my own way. So I'm like, I'm not going to Newberry. I don't want to go to Newberry. That country school has nothing to do down there. I'm not going to Newberry. The Lord told me I was going to Newberry. So I went and applied for Newberry. I went and applied for financial aid and everything. And the lady called me personally and she said, have you received your financial aid? I said, yeah. I got the email. I haven't looked at it. She was like, I need you to look at your financial aid because I have never seen anybody get this much aid. And I was like, okay. I go to the email. I look at the email. And when I tell God really, he shows out when he does what he does. I had no balance. I had literally no balance for my first, it's funny thinking about it now, but I had how he was setting me up. So I had no balance. I could not, the offer was just too good to leave or whatever. And I didn't want to go to Winthrop because it was a little, it was a little further than I would have liked or whatever. So the lady's calling me. She would call me every day and she's like, you want to come, please come. Da, 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 da. So finally I signed all the things. I do everything that I need to do to come. So then she's like, okay, you got to come to orientation for freshman orientation. I'm like, lady, at this time, I'm 24 years old, starting over again at college, and I'm going to live on campus at 24 years old. Mind you, I'm coming in with people who just left high school, 18-year-olds, all that. And I'm like, I'm not coming to no freshman orientation. Like, I got this. I'm not doing that. So they was like, well, you got to come. You don't have to stay, but there's one part that you have to participate in. It's where you got to, sign your stuff and get your house and information. She's like, you can't get your house and information if you're not there. So I'm like, okay, cool. She said, but I'm not going to make you stay overnight. You don't have to come. So I grabbed my best friend. She road trips it with me. We leave early that morning. We go from Columbia to Newberry, and I literally sit in the car. Like, I remember we even took a nap and everything. We fell asleep in the car with the air conditioner on, waiting for the portion that I had to be at. And I'm walking around the campus, and I'm just like, wow, I can't believe I'm doing this again. So we go, and everything is good, and I'm in school, and I'm meeting really great people. I actually met one of my really, really good friends. She's one of my best friends, Alexis, and we're still friends today. Crazy relationship. We got a lot of funny stories too. But anyway, yeah, God really showed himself. He really showed his hand for me at Newberry. I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about other people, different cultures and things like that. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity, and I'm really glad that God chose me, and I'm glad that he really sustained me in that time. So if you are a young person and you're young but you feel like you're too old to start over, or even if you're older and you feel like you want to start over and you just have that thing in your mind that I'm too old, and now looking back, it's crazy to think that at 24 years old, I thought that I was too old to start over and get a degree. Like, what? That doesn't even make any sense. But that's just the devil, So you got to be clear about what you hear from God, and you got to move on it and know that he will sustain you. And I had moments at Newberry that were not, personally, that were not the best. The school was amazing, great people, great staff. They were amazing. I mean, I can name some people today that I just, oh my God, I really, really loved them. But they were really good teachers and professors. But I had some times where I had some financial difficulties, but God came through. He came through. I remember one semester I didn't think I was going to come back, and God told me, he said, pack your bags. You're going to school. And I remember I had a balance of $2,000, and I just remember from God, I was like, he told me to pack my bags and go as if the debt had been paid. And I'm like, what? Go as if the debt has been paid. And I'm like, okay, okay. So I packed my stuff up, and I remember my mom, she was, trying all she could to get the money for me to go. And she could not, everything she was trying at the time was not working, because that wasn't the avenue that God had for me. So I remember I go to school, and I remember my mom was like, well, why do you want me to take you back? We don't have the money. And I was like, I'm just going on a word. I got to school, and it was like 3 days before classes started, and I wrote a letter. I had to write a letter, and I wrote a letter. And do you guys know that my debt was paid in full, because I just listened to what God said. I knew that I was going on a word. And I remember another semester, that whole summer, I was just like, gosh, you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it. If you don't do it, it cannot be done. I go to the mailbox one day. These people send me a letter saying that I had over $2,000 balance. And I still have the letter to this day. I go to the mailbox one day. God told me to go check the mail. I go to the mailbox. There's a letter in the mail from Newberry College, and there's a letter that said that I had over $2,000 balance, and my balance was paid. The thing told me that I had 36 cents that I need to call in and pay. I'm like, oh my God, there's no way. I called the school. I give them my student number, and I'm like, this is my student number, and this paper is saying, this is my balance. And the lady was like, yeah, you got 36 cents balance. Do you want to pay that now? And I'm like, yeah, I want to pay that right now. So I mean, God really has made a way, and he is true to his word. If you try him at his word, you take him at his word, and you're faithful to him, he will be and remain faithful to you to the ends of the earth. He is with you always. He cares. He knows. He is just God like that. He really is. So if you're scared about going to college, you're worried about money, trust him at his word, take him at his word. He's not a guy. He is not a man that he should lie, nor the son of man that he should repent. He will supply all your needs. All your needs. You shall not want. He'll supply them all. Be faithful. Do whatever it is that he calls you to do, and he'll do it for you. I promise you, he'll do it for you. Try him at his word. Try him. If he said he'll do it, he can come through, and he will come through for you. My favorite scripture is Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart. Lean not into your own understanding, and he shall direct your path. You don't have to understand. You don't have to know. You just got to lean into him. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you are thinking about college, or if you're in college and you think it's too hard, I had many a nights where I cried, I prayed, I worshiped in my room, and I came out encouraging other people. If you knew me at Newberry College, I was always, if I told you the things that I went through in my room at night, you wouldn't even believe me. But God, thank you for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, comment, and trust God until the ends of the earth.
Woo! Yeah! Go Tanny! She got her degree. She graduate.
Oh my!
Oh, my friend to graduate. Oh! Give it, Goalie. Give it. Dance it out. Hey, dance it out. Hey, dance it out. You ready? You done.